on me.
Ingrid gave up everything and uploaded for me.
I'm with someone too.
I've been cheating on you.
Oh, it's all good, brother. That was weird.
So weird.
I know.
Uploading should be accessible for everyone. We need to hold the greedy, powerful people accountable.
He likes Bloody Marys and the rollback of environmental laws.
Well, we can handle one of those.
Congratulations on the second series. You finally got there. I know there was a bit of back and forth with the with the whole series.
I know.
How you guys must feel so relieved that it's now finally out. You've been able to make it in time.
Yeah, it almost doesn't feel real. There's been so much kind of kicking the can down the field, if that's the metaphor, that I'm, even in February, I'm still kind of like, well, we'll see when it comes out. We'll see.
Right.
But yeah, it's excellent. It's been a long time coming, and we're all just as excited, I think, as everybody else is to see it.
How much had to change as a result of sort of the developments over the time? Because there's 7 episodes this time, but I thought last time there was 10.
So essentially it took the same amount of time to shoot 7 as it would have to shoot 10. So just with COVID restrictions, testing, having to group people into different bubbles, it was just more than anything, it just took longer. So the other thing is, and Greg, he's so smart. He said, how did he put it? He said, story should dictate episode count. Episode count shouldn't dictate story. And the best story for the season was 7 episodes. And he's right. I mean, the finale is fantastic. I think that it is the strongest way to end the season. I think anybody that thought there was a cliffhanger in season 1 is going to be real excited about season 2. But it was just the best version of the story. So would we have liked to have shot more episodes? Sure, I'd like to do way more episodes, but that was the best version of it. And Greg is a lot smarter than I am. So
yeah,
I kind of go with what he says.
Nathan and Nora's relationship is very much the heart of the show. But this season, they're all on such different paths. What are your thoughts on how that change developed?
Well, I mean, we see in the end of season 1, Nora professes her love for Nathan and he totally ghosts her. So, I don't know how you come back from that, but
well, I mean,
unintentional ghosting.
Yeah,
right?
he was frozen. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like second chances are a big part of our show.
I know.
Third chances,
yeah.
maybe.
But we get to see them explore what life is like without each other. And I think there's a lot of growth for Nora in the Lud camp. And she starts dating someone else but also her growth into becoming a leader and who she is without Nathan, without anyone, and really recognizing, okay, what do I stand for? What's important? And so I think it's really cool just kind of seeing that progression and also how it informs how she then approaches Nathan and solving his death and figuring out what happened there. So, there's that mystery still.
Selfishly
Sorry.
for me, I was excited that from the comedic side, I have my lunatic ex-girlfriend coming to town and uploading for me. I think it was nice to season 1 is Nathan and Nora going like this, and season 2 we start off going like that, and it just adds that little are they going to figure this out? Are they going to find a way back to each other? And in season 1, Nathan, once he gets uploaded, he really starts to learn a lot about himself, and perspective changes and he becomes a different person. And then you get to see if that's going to happen to Ingrid and, whether that changes her life and their relationship and the people that they are. So, again, it's all, I almost always just say, kudos to Greg and Owen and the writers and the positions that they put these characters in, and feel very honest, but still being very entertaining and thought-provoking and interesting to play with from an acting standpoint.
Season 1 felt very much rom-com-y. in its sort of how it plays out. This season feels very much more like detective, murder mystery, and thanks to Ingrid, a little bit of Fatal Attraction thrown in. Just
Sure.
Allegra, how did it feel to like have this development of sort of Ingrid's possessiveness really like come into play this time?
Yeah, it was really fun for me. I think especially during season 1, I felt like I was on my little island. Ingrid goes to Lakeview in season 1, but I still am kind of dipping my toe in and I'm always disappearing. And, but this time getting to really play there and explore, it's definitely, at first for Ingrid, definitely like a wonderland. I can upgrade this and swap you out and change my bedroom and put my face on the wall 7 times. And so getting to live there is totally a dream come true. But I do think that she also has to face some of the same questions that Nathan has experienced the whole time and really try it on and live in it and go, I don't know if I actually am adapting to this. And if it's all Nathan all the time, and that's the choice that she's making, there's a lot of sacrifice that comes with it. And I think she has to really evaluate, is this worth it? If it is, I gotta commit 110%. Otherwise, boy, I'm living in regret and I'm really wasting my time.
And wow, does she commit?
Yeah.
She should be committed.
Not to, but
yeah, she is committed. And that's one thing I have to respect and admire about her is the dedication. Like she's got a vision and she wants to see it through. And
you are committed too. There was one scene where Kevin and I walk into the room and I don't think this is giving any too much away, but I won't even say why you were doing this, but we walked in the room and I guess Ingrid was supposed to be kind of taken by surprise and she was sitting on all fours on top of like a footstool like a cat, and Kevin and I were not prepared for this at all, and we both walked in and just lost our minds. So that's the kind of fun stuff you get from Allegra.
I commit to bits, that's for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
God, it was so good.
It was a fun day.
For all 3 of you, Upload has got a lot more meta with sort of discussions on things like internet privacy is very prominent in this series. Has working on a show like this made you more or less cautious with what you want to put online?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually just coincided with this, but my wife had our son in September of 2019. So that would have been right before the show came out. But I've found myself, kind of taking a step back from technology and social media. And I think it's probably just more from a father standpoint, spending more time, like this with him rather than like this with him. But it's also just this scary side of like raising somebody with all of this technology around. And it's funny, the privacy thing has never really bugged me. I don't know if it's just because it's just one of those things where I'm like, I'm not really hiding that much stuff online. I think part of being in the industry that we're in, you're kind of screwed from that standpoint anyway. Your anonymity is kind of out the window. But with that being said, like we don't put his face online. We don't want him out there. So it's weird. It's I wouldn't say it's because of the show, but I think what's interesting about the show is it never really takes a side on it. It's like, here's something that some people love and some people don't, and this is the the subjective world that we live in. It's a gray area, like and I think that's just honest about the world we live in today. Some people love Instagram or Twitter and other people hate it and like would turn it off if they could, and some people are completely down the middle. And so it's I think Greg does a great job of riding that line of not taking a side.
I definitely pay more attention to technology related headlines. Like for example, I was just noticing there was a story that popped up on my Instagram not like 15 minutes ago that said that people can now pay something like 40 grand to go to space for a 90-minute space trip. And that feels like it's right out of Upload. And it's something that popped up on my phone in 2022. You know, I watched a demo on YouTube of the Hyperloop train that exists and is legit and is out there, and that we are, you know, incorporating into season 2 of our show. And so I pay more attention than I would have otherwise, because I'm like, you know, on alert to it, all those things.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I really love and take to heart from Nora is her ability to find the best in all things, and her appreciation for technology and how it's meant to make our lives easier, but also her ability to see the disconnect that can happen with it. And her experience in the Lud camp of where you take all the technology away and really literally getting your hands dirty. And so for me, that totally, you know, influences my own existence and being able to see the beauty and benefit in technology, but also saying, hey, you know what, it's okay to step away. It's okay to do a social media detox for a month, a week, a day, whatever, you know, and just kind of getting back to yourself, getting back to that human to human connection without a screen involved, and finding that groundedness. So there's that balance, you know, and I think that's what it comes down to.
Just as a quick add-on to this, like, if you guys were to like live in the Upload world, would you be team Upload or would you be team Lud?
Lud.
I'd Upload.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Robbie.
I can hop into the torrent if I get sick of it there, but I would just look at it as like, if it's life or death, this just goes life, Upload, death. So it's just like, it's another step for more time with the people that I love. I mean, that's like at its simplest form.
Oh, man, I guess, yeah, I'd probably choose Upload too, but it would be, it'd probably be like a very log cabin, as natural as I could. It would be glamping. It would be Upload glamping.
That's awesome.
Which is what I did on my honeymoon, basically. So
that's a pretty sweet like middle ground.
Right? Like, look, I've convinced myself I'm natural, but I'm not.
I like the idea of like the Lud, like going into like living the Lud life, because it's simpler, and you probably wouldn't age as fast because everything is so organic and natural, and not as stressful, because that's like all you're doing is like, you know, harvesting potatoes and, you know, walking around in nature.
But you wouldn't age at all in Upload, and you can just airbrush yourself, you know, grow your
That's fair. That's fair. But then, you know, if I get sick of Lud camp, you know, I could always just like hike my way into town and Upload then.
You could just live the Lud life in Upload. Just get yourself a nice farm.
That's what I said, isn't it? Didn't I say glamping?
You did say
exactly.
that.
So season 2 ends on one hell of a cliffhanger that sort of basically wipes everything, sort of basically resets everything potentially. What would you want to see happen if you get greenlit for a season 3?
How do you answer that without giving something away?
I know.
Here's a non-committal way of answering that question. I would want to work with as many folks as I could in season 3, in however that could happen. And it was really enjoyable to get a taste of working with castmates that I didn't get much time with in season 1. So if I could work with Zainab more, you know, if I could work with Kevin more, if I could work with the people that I'm usually isolated from, that would be what I would want to see. And I would want to see Ingrid deal with those people more too.
If Allegra could work with Robbie less is what I'm hearing.
I'm trying to see that in the nicest way possible.
Very nice. Okay.
I think I'd want to see, like, I don't know, Nora become really. I know this won't happen, but like really like radicalized in a way of like, and wanting to take down the whole thing. And just
you're
being
in
like,
you're in your own X-Men movie. Like
I know, like I want some action. I wanted to like go real like rebel mode and just be like, let's burn it all down. And then like Nathan like reeling her back in of like, hey, okay, honey, like relax. You going a little crazy. Like
I want to watch your version of the show.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Burn It Down, season 3.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm in a tough position to answer that question at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
So I will say that Greg has a pretty good track record for what he does, and I feel like we're in good hands. So whatever Greg thinks will probably be the best version of the show.